Do you want to be on YouTube?
Looking like a greased pig.
We're headed to Chicago to see Hanson. That's Lacey. Aaron's back there. Melanie's getting in the car. day 2 in Chicago. So we just got done with breakfast. We went to Yolk for breakfast, and now we're gonna go do a architectural river tour of Chicago.
On our journey today, representing different eras of architecture, and we're also going to learn some stories from Chicago's past. And I like to think of these stories and these buildings like pieces in a puzzle. And near the end of our tour, we're going to have an opportunity to look at the beautiful Chicago skyline. It's a moment to take photos, but also a moment to let all those puzzle pieces come together for you. And I hope that you have a different perspective on Chicago by the end of this tour, and I hope that you fall in love with this city. With William Wrigley Jr. Now, he founded this chewing gum company, Wrigley Chewing Gum, and he was doing really well, and he needed a headquarters in Chicago, so he asked architects Graham, Anderson, Probst, and White to design this building for him. We call this style Spanish Revival, because it's actually, that clock tower specifically is modeled after the Giralda Tower of the Sevilla Cathedral in Spain. Lower it 1 time per year using a heavy concrete counterweight that's sitting kind of behind and beneath it there. And this is a single leaf bascule bridge. It only has 1 section that crosses the whole river, and bascule means seesaw or teeter-totter in French. So it actually operates on a pivot point with that counterweight. And you can kind of lower it, and you can see if you look behind you how that comes. And also the 550-page guide to Chicago by the American Institute of Architects. And so they wanted to put themselves on the map, and they literally did. Set a lit lantern next to her cow, started milking her cow, and the cow kicked the lantern over, and they both started the Great Chicago Fire. The authors of the article would later go on to admit that they lied. They made it up, yeah. And they ruined her life forever as a result. To this day, you can still buy a t-shirt at a Chicago tourist shop with her and her cow starting the fire. So I'm here to clear her name. Catherine O'Leary didn't start that fire. Nobody knows why it started in her barn.
Really fun, and it cost just under $50, and it lasted about 70 minutes. Lots of history. Our tour guide was fantastic, and I would absolutely recommend that you do this if you're in Chicago. rode the blue line and now we're gonna walk to the Ukrainian village. We just had a short walk to the Ukrainian village, so we are going to check out a marketplace, which is one of the largest Ukrainian marketplaces in the United States. And we're also going to go in and look at some of the church architecture before heading over to an Italian spot to get cannolis. Sadly, we couldn't go in the church either because it was closed, but we're on our way to a little Italian bakery now to grab some cannolis, and then we are maybe going to go by the bean if we have time before our next concert.
Good one.
I tried both the plain and the chocolate, and I think the chocolate was my favorite. Definitely not as good as Mike's Pastry in Boston. Really good cannoli, and they only take cash here. The chocolate one was just a little bit more than the regular one. They were nice and fresh, and I do believe that they make them every day, and they do sell out, so you probably want to get here fairly early in the day if you'd like to grab a cannoli. Really cute little spot, easy to get to. We took the bus here, and we'll take the bus back. Made it to the bean.
I know they can hear you, and just as a thanks. Hanson, thank you so much for taking us on tour with you. Let's hear it for Hanson. We've known those guys a long time, and we've been trying to tour for like the last 24 years or something. We started really young, our band started really young. Anyway, that's my story. You guys might know this one, that's what Dylan just said. We started from California. What you got to me, you got to love somebody. Can't stay as yourself. You got to make it.
On our way to get a hot dog.
Yummy. I should eat it like a real hot dog though.
It's messy though.
Well, ain't that
on our way home from Chicago, and we thought we'd stop at the cool new rest stop here in Indiana. It's the Kankakee rest stop, and they recently redid it, and it's very cool, so I thought I would just show you guys what it looks like. And I keep hearing that it might be the best rest stop in the state. this mural's painted on a windmill turbine blade. It's by Coda. She's kind of a well-known muralist in the state of Indiana. So cute. There's the state bird, the cardinal. And there was a whole thing inside talking about wind power, because if you drive this corridor of 65, there's a lot of windmills. So just kind of talking about that and how it works in the state. Very cool.